Hello everyone, this is the Priestess of Moot. I am back with another video. So last week I went on a site called Canvas. This is where I got my banner for my Etsy shop at. And I did, they have YouTube channel art. I'm going to explain the history of YouTube channel art for those people that weren't around when YouTube was just, you could only do 10-minute videos or 15-minute videos, which was fine with me because when I was doing Egyptian style videos back way back, I could only do 10-minute videos, and then you had to like do a certain number of videos, and then it went up to 15, and then you had to make more videos, and then you had unlimited time. Now it's, you got to verify on the phone and all that type of stuff. So I said in my previous video that Kemeticism as a Reconstructionist or a revivalist religion relies a lot on primary and secondary sources. And these are stuff that archaeologists have found on temple walls, and this is their, they translate the Book of the Dead. The most popular Book of the Dead is the Scroll of Ani, and I don't remember how long it was when it was unrolled, but it was massive. And now archaeologists have discovered a Queen's Book of the Dead that's 13 feet long. This thing is huge. I will be going into the Book of the Dead probably next week. So I have decided to do videos once a week so that I'm not inundating my favorite Facebook group with videos. And as before, I'm drinking water because I need it. So if you're practicing Tamarind Wicca, the most important thing that you have to have in your collection of books is, of course, the Witch's Date Book, which is for 2022, and I have that one, which is awesome. I mainly use it for two things. I use it to write down Kemetic holidays, as well as when am I working. So there you go. So the first book in my collection is Circle of the Sun, Rites and Celebrations for Egyptian Pagans and Kemetics by Sharon Laborde. She gives prayers to different deities. She also, if you're practicing Tamarind Wicca, she has the Wiccan equivalent of certain holidays. But it's a really great book, and I'm really glad that she brought it out. She also has Following the Sun, which she brought out a revised edition of that book. I have not gotten it. I do plan on to buy it next month. Just this month, I'm really strapped for cash, and all the books that I'm showing you I've had for at least a year, maybe a little bit less, but I've had them for a pretty long time. The reason I bought, this is actually my third copy of the book. Both of them, both previous ones, I had to throw them away, and I waited till I moved to the new place to get another copy. This is a book that I'm currently reading right now, Ancient Egyptian Magic for Modern Witches, Rituals, Meditations, and Magical Tools by Ellen Cannon Reed. Ellen Cannon Reed did a book called The Wicca Handbook, and I was telling my brother about when she was in Egypt, how she had to hide the fact she was pagan because Egypt has some insane laws, and a lot of them are surrounded around religion. So you have to hide that you're a pagan or a Kemetic from the authorities. Which is why there was an article that came out a couple of years ago about a girl that was executed by, I think it was the Taliban, because she was outed by her brother as being a pagan, and so she was executed for it. They tortured her, they raped her, all that stuff that people like to do to women. But she never recanted her beliefs, and she inadvertently became a martyr for pagans. Though I have to say this, people that live in their cushy, democratic-led world, they don't know what it's like to have to, be tortured and raped and stuff like that for their beliefs. But So far it's turned to be a really good book. I'm on Osiris or Asir. The only problem I got is that she doesn't spell the words, the Kemetic words. All right, so this is this is one of 2 hardback books I've got, and this is Eternal Egypt by Richard J. Reedy. He is deceased, but this is a hardback, and these are rituals that his temple still does. I actually did one last week, and it took me about 25-30 minutes to do. So it's something that I can do on my days off, not something I can do if I have. Now, if I have to close, I can definitely do it, but there's still a lot of stuff in here that I do have to get. So, yeah. So this is really good if you're practicing Kemeticism. So, yeah. The next book, this is his last book. He wrote this, he finished reading, I don't know if he finished writing it or his fellow temple members finished it for him. It's a pretty thick book. This is Everlasting Egypt by the same author. By the way, he passed in 2015, so he's been dead for 7 years. So, but yeah, or going on 7 years. So, this is officially his last book. It's a really beautiful cover. I really love it. Great thing about it is it's in large print, so I can read it. Me and small print do not get along. Now, this is a fun one that I got. This is actually my second copy of the same book. First copy I had to throw away when we moved, and this is the Walmart Book of the Dead. It's funny as I don't know what. But basically what it is that it is basically takes place at a Walmart that actually is full of dead souls. And they're forever confined to Walmart for the rest of their days. They're all dead. They all do not know that they're dead. And I don't think they ever will find out that they're dead. But yeah, it's a book essentially for, it's a fun book. It definitely introduces people to elements of Egyptian ritual, of Egyptian afterlife belief in a fun setting. I do sometimes feel like when I go to Walmart that I'm around nothing but dead people. It's weird. You walk in and they just like wander around aimlessly. You know, difference is they leave. But it's a funny book, and definitely a book that I recommend if you're feeling kind of down to read it, because at least you're not stuck at Walmart for the rest of eternity. This book is called Profane Egyptologists by Paul Harrison. Paul Harrison is very well known in academic circles. He did a lot of work for the History Channel. He did work for several video game companies when they were dealing with historical things. I think he had a friend who designed the cover. This book, unless you are interested in Egyptology and the history of Egyptology and how it turned into the Kemetic movement, this book will be very dull and very, very dry. But it's really good. I am planning on to do a series of videos once again covering this book and my general belief, the general view of it. But it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. If you're interested in the different gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt, I highly recommend this book, The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt. I don't know how much I spent for this book, but I do know I bought it brand new. It's really a great book. It definitely tells you a lot about the history of it, how widespread their worship was. It is just a really great book and has a lot of really great illustrations. It divides it up into like bovine deities and falcon deities and things like that. So definitely worth the money. And the final book, this is a book I had been wanting for over 15 years. And this is the Ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, translated by Raymond Folker. And it's just got some really beautiful illustrations. This is the Scroll of Ani, probably the most important book that ever came out of Egypt. The Book of Ani was discovered by Wallace Budge in the late 1800s, and it is a great book, and it tells you the spells order, and it's just so wonderful. Originally, the original first edition copy of this book, you could actually remove the scarab, but this one you just have the gem, and the scarab is a part of the cover of the book. But yeah, the first time I saw a copy of this book was I believe up in Massachusetts. They actually had a discount store, and they had a bunch of books, and I saw this. I wanted it. My mother would not buy it for me, and I really was upset about it, but I didn't say anything to her because she would have gotten really mad at me for complaining that I couldn't have a book. But these are books that I so far have. I do not have any plans to buy any new books because I haven't gone through these books. But once I get through these books, I will definitely be buying new ones. I got a couple more that I haven't shown. It's more from Biblica Alexandria. They have like each individual like deity, and they do books, and they like people submit their essays and stuff to them. It's a really good publishing house, and it really does show the diversity of how people approach these gods and goddesses. But they have everything from the Norse all the way to the Celtic, and it's just a really great company, a really great publishing house. They do excellent editing. They really they do a really good job when they publish these books. So I am going to see you guys around. Hope you guys have a really great week. And until next time, may you be happy, healthy, most importantly, be safe. Bye.